Hey, you're listening to episode number 81 of Financial Confidence at WYTV7.org. Hey, and welcome to Financial Confidence here on WYTV7 Christian Broadcasters Network. I hope you're having a good week so far, and thank you so much for joining us. We're here every week where we're helping you to make your money, keep your money, and grow your money. So if you haven't followed us, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share this podcast. Go over to bit.ly, B as in boy, it.ly/podcast FC. You'll be able to share and know every time that Financial Confidence is live. Welcome to Financial Confidence, where we talk to everyday people about finances to help you make your money, keep your money, and grow your money, because your journey starts right now. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to share with you each week. And if you're new to Financial Confidence, learn more at WYTV7.org. Well, yes, guys, our guiding principle for this show is Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Yes, guys, we also ask that you pray over your finances so you can do the things that you are called to do to build generational wealth and leave an inheritance for the children. If you will, bow with me. Lord, help us to value the things in this world that's really valuable. That's our relationship with you, our lives, and our families. Help make us responsible stewards of your financial resources. And let us trust your holy word, the eternal glory of thy son Jesus. In his name we pray. Amen. Guys, we definitely want to also share with you this show, How to Beat Financial Stress. Today's topic is how to beat financial stress. And I know that there are many of people out there. Most people have financial stress. So what are those things that you do to overcome this financial stress? And you guys know here that we're firm believers that the borrower is servant to the lender. So how do you now move from that situation? How do you come from under all the stresses of all those bills, those monthly payments that you have to make, to ensure that you can alleviate that financial stress or eliminate that financial self-sabotage? Essentially, is what's happening. Because once you're able to eliminate those monthly debts, whether that's your car payments or student loan payments or credit card payments, whatever the case may be, you must evaluate your own financial situation to determine what that is. But once you're able to do that, now you have some money that you can invest. So it's very important that you recognize and identify what are some of those things that I can now do that are going to eliminate this financial self-sabotage, these financial stresses that I have in my life, so that I can now move to my next. So the number one thing, guys, first you got to build your muscle. Much like in working out or getting ready for a competition, if you happen to be a bodybuilder, there are different things you have to do. You have to condition those muscles, right? You have to be able to deal with the emotional side of this, not just the physical side of preparing your body, but the emotional side that comes along with it. So in building that muscle so you can get rid of financial self-sabotage, the number one thing is you got to free yourself from this illusion that you're not already wealthy. You're not already able to live your life in abundance. See, wealth is your ability to leverage. It's not just about the money. We live in one of the richest countries, the richest nations on this planet. And there's so many things that are currently available to us that many others cannot say that these things are available to us. You can go and enhance your mind by simply going to your public libraries for free. You have access to computers there. You have access to the iPads. You have access to a variety of tools and resources that are free to you because you live in this country. So just wanted you to start thinking, because as a man thinketh, so is he, because like attracts like. So if you feel that you're living in lack, guess what? You're going to attract more lack to you. And that's the bottom line, the basis of self-sabotage. So the key here is to understand that you're already wealthy. You're wealthy because God created you in his image. And we have to take these things into account and build that muscle, build that mental muscle, as well as the emotional muscle, so that we can build our financial muscles to do those things that we know that we can do. So essentially, guys, getting out of debt is going to be huge, a huge part of eliminating financial self-sabotage. And yeah, it's easier said than done, because most people won't do a budget every single month and follow that budget. And I'm going to put myself in that category, because it's not every single month that I do a budget. Yes, I do a budget, and I have a budget that I follow, and then I start getting into this comfort zone, if you will, because I recognize, okay, I know I make this amount of money. I know I have these bills every month, but although every time I turn, there's a little something, a little leak, if you will, that can show up. And if I get caught off my game, right? If I get caught off my game, then here goes a little extra money out the window in that moment. So it's very important, guys, for us to eliminate whatever it happens to be for you. On my side, as far as financial self-sabotage, it's easy for me to get in it. And parents, mothers, you can relate. Fathers, you can relate. You have your children with you, and that child sees something that they want, you know. And sometimes we may say, oh, well, it's not, you know, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a thing. But if that thing was not recorded in your budget, then that's how those little tiny leaks seep in. And that's how we can start to build in that financial self-sabotage. So I'm not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. What are those things that we can now do in the way that are going to be most powerful for us, right? When we talk about building wealth, when we're talking about eliminating those financial stress, or eliminating or getting rid of this financial self-sabotage. Because the most powerful wealth building tool that you have is your income. And if we have this income, we know a set amount of income that's coming in on a weekly, bi-weekly, or a monthly basis, right? And what we have to do now is recognize what amount of money we have available to us to continue to build wealth. And the greatest way, the quickest way, the most consistent way that you're able to build wealth is going to be based upon whether or not you have money in the bank. And how do you have money in the bank? You have money in the bank on those months when you don't have to pay that car payment, on those months where you don't have to pay student loans forever, or those months where you don't have to pay that credit card bill. That's truly how you have money in the bank. And then what do we do with that money? What's most important, guys, is now that you have this money available, I no longer have that $550 car payment. So now on a monthly basis, I can take that $550 and start to save it and invest it in the best way, right? Whether that's investing inside of the market and knowing what type of funds I want to put it in, or if it's investing it in just a CD to get started. It doesn't matter as long as you start, but then continue to build the muscle, build that educational muscle, so that you now know what to do with those finances, guys. This is how you start to get rid of financial stresses. This is how you start to get rid of that financial self-sabotage. And it does not begin without having a plan. You must have a plan to get it done. And that plan starts with a budget. Whether you like the B word or not, it is a must-have. It is a non-negotiable for each and every one of us as we're starting out. Get out of debt, but you got to have a plan in order to get out of debt. And that plan begins with your budget. So we're talking about, guys, how to beat financial stress, how to get rid of financial self-sabotage. And we're doing this by building our muscles. We're conditioning our mind and our emotions to be able to deal with all that we have. We currently have so much abundance available to us. We have so many things that are available to us, and we need to free ourselves of this illusion that we're not already wealthy, because we are. It's not just about the amount of money that you have. But remember, guys, like attracts like as you build upon this journey. The next thing, guys, that I would highly recommend to help eliminate the financial stress. Oftentimes we're living way above our means. And I know I hear it, and before I even say it, guys, once you start to live below the means, meaning living below the amount of money that you have coming in, now you're going to be able to truly do something that's going to allow you to build financial wealth, right? In order to be able to do that, you have to now understand and recognize that you cannot spend everything that you bring in. In most cases, spending more than you bring in. And that's how we continue to stay underneath these financial stresses. It's only one or two ways to come out of that. You either need to live below your means, or you need to figure out a way to make more money, right? Develop a high income skill that's now going to allow you to bring more money in. It doesn't matter which path works best for you. What matters is that you take action on that path. Either you're going to live below your means, or you're going to bring in more money so that you can continue to live in the same fashion that you're currently living in. See, where financial self-sabotage comes in is that people don't make those decisions because that borrower still is continuing to be that servant or being a slave to the lender. It's as simple as that. So which role do you want to play? Do you want to be on the side where you're the borrower, continuing to be the slave, right? Or do you want to be on the other side of the coin where you can potentially be the lender? But it all starts with a plan. So where's your budget? That's the number one question I'm asking you today. Where's your budget? Do you have that budget written down on paper? Is that budget followed if you do have it written down on paper? And are you consistently following that budget? Because there has to be some consistency. We can say this, and many of us, we're quick to do things. We'll do it for a little bit. It's not working as well as we want it to work as quickly, so we put it down, right? We pick something else up. We work on it for a little bit. It's not working in 90 days. We put it down. See, what I understand and what I know is that these things take time, and you have to be consistent and continually doing this over and over and over like clockwork. Get to the point where you can invest over and over and over. And if you do the math and you find a vehicle that you can now invest in, research shows, the numbers tell you, essentially, if you can find $100 a month, say your age of 25, you're 25 and you're listening to this broadcast, you can find $100 a month. By the time you retire at 65, you'll have over $1 million if you invest, right, in a vehicle that's going to provide 8 to 12% return over that time. That's just $100 a month. And it is rare that you will find someone who says that they just hit the mother lode, you know, they invested in this great thing and it turned things around for them immensely in a short period of time. For most people, that is not the case. It's going to have to be slow, steady, consistent investing that you're now doing. Now, as you increase that muscle, as you increase your education around finances, as you continue to consistently stay on that budget, then you'll start to see things start to pick up. Yeah, they don't pick up as quickly as you would hope they would. You won't become a millionaire overnight. However, there's some things that you can do because there are other things that you would like to have, other situations and circumstances you would like to support. How can you now help and support those situations when you're underwater yourself? So figuring out how to relieve that financial stress, how to get rid of this financial self-sabotage is extremely important. So continuing to build your muscle, continuing to get out of debt, continuing to either live on less than you make or to make more income. And when you make more income, guess what? You're living on less than you make. There's no reason for you to be stuck. There's no reason for you to be stuck. The only reason that you're stuck or stagnant is if you choose not to move. Because most people, when they move, right, things change. You can make things change. You can cause different situations and circumstances to arise because of that simple step that you have now taken. So it's very important, guys, get rid of the financial stress. And I know the overwhelm that you may feel when it comes to this. I've been there. We go through different situations in our lives that put us under these pressures. But what's most important is that we have a plan, because understanding if you have no respect for your money, guess what? You'll never have any money. So by putting your plan in place and no longer being the slave to the lender, you can now change the financial stress, eliminate the financial stress, remove those financial self-sabotaging blocks, right, that show up in your life, so that you can now have that and breathe that sigh of relief, right? When it comes to you and your finances, you now, because you're no longer in this debt, you now have money that you save. But what I can guarantee you this is 100% of people who don't save essentially don't have any money, right? There's no other way to say it. It's not rocket science. 100% of the people who don't save, 100% of those people don't have any money. So which side of the boat do you want to be in? And the problem is not with investing. The problem is that you don't invest. You don't have any money to invest because of the debt situation, because of the financial stresses that keep building, and the financial self-sabotage, the different situations that you put yourself in on a regular basis that continue this vicious cycle. Because like attracts like. But what would it feel like to be able to have that extra $500 from that car payment? Because that's the average car payment today, $503. Imagine if you had that extra $503 every month that you're now saving, that you're now investing, that you're now doing something different. You can now just randomly out the blue be generous to someone else who may be in need. Talk about a true feeling of abundance. Talking about truly being wealthy, because wealth is leverage. You're now able to leverage your time, those dollars, your whatever the case may be. You're now able to leverage that differently to be able to help and support someone else. So the number one key, guys, is getting started so that you can beat the financial stress. We appreciate you guys so much for tuning in to Financial Confidence. I'm Lynn Demmons, America's #1 financial rebound coach. Yeah, I said it, America's #1. Again, guys, we appreciate you so much for joining us. We hope you've had a good week thus far. If you haven't liked the show, subscribe to the show. Please go do that at bit.ly/podcastfc. That's bit.ly/podcastfc. If this information is helpful for you, please go over to our station at WYTV7.org and leave a donation so that we can continue to help you make your money, keep your money, and grow your money so you can do what you're called to do. That's to build generational wealth and leave an inheritance for your children's children. I appreciate you guys for joining in Financial Confidence. We'll see you again next week, where we're going to continue the conversation, guys, and we're going to go over the big lie of money management. Until then.